So in today's video, we're going to cover cleaning the joints, mixing the grout to the correct consistency, how to apply grout to the joints, and allowing the grout to settle. And we'll also cover sponging techniques. Also, what we'll talk about is weather conditions as to how they affect your grouting. And we'll look at when and where you need to apply expansion joints. Now I'm going to go over and look at each joint and make sure there's no glue pushing up through the joints, just to prepare it for grouting. So I've got a little joint cleaning tool, the rough edge at the base there. That slips in the cracks in the joint between the tiles. Got to be very careful when you do this, because if you squeeze it sideways too much, it might chip the tile. So it's a process that I look forward to getting over and done with. A bit of high glue. Look elsewhere and see if there's any more. A bit here. Because you don't want the glue sticking up above the grout joint, as if the glue was sticking close to the surface when you come and grout over, your grout won't go down deep enough and lock in, and it won't last. A bit more here. So overall pretty good, and most of them are pretty good, just a couple. Okay, I think that should do for now. Some people might want to vacuum the joints, get rid of any dust, but unless it's really chronically bad, I've found that don't really need to vacuum. Just get rid of the excess dust on the surface. Here and there where there's a bit of dust in the crack, the grout joint, just put the brush along the joint, get it out of the joint. Just watch when you're walking, you don't hit these clips and snap them off, because you need them for when you're gluing the rest of the tiles to the floor. Use those clips to bring the newly laid tiles up to the right height. Now, to mix up the grout, put a little bit of water in the bucket. Got that much, I'm just guessing. And I used Mapai grout. There's lots of different brands out there, but Mapai is a high quality product. I use their glues and their grout as well. They're good quality product. Just a simple process of adding the powder to the water. Giving it a mix around. One thing I'd recommend, don't mix this with a stirrer, with an electric stirrer. The reason being is you don't want to entrain into it air bubbles, because that'll result in bubbles in your grout. Not a good idea. So just manually mix it with a spatula. So that's going to need a little bit more water. Mapai grout is a little bit unusual in its consistency, but good quality. Probably go a little bit watery now, and I have to add a bit more powder, I'm not sure. It's not like other grout, Mapai grout, in its consistency, but a superior product. There are other good products on the market as well, but I just like Mapai.
back with a hammer in hand, turning old walls into something grand. Dust on his boots, plans in his head, tools all around and a vision ahead.
Make it like toothpaste thickened cream consistency. Make sure you've fully mixed up all the contents, because you don't want some dry powder ending up in the joint. That'll not look good, won't be long lasting. Fraction bit more water, because remember, when you leave it sit for a minute or two, it'll absorb the water into the particles a little bit more. So there we go, that's a nice consistency there. Okay, so I use a grouting trowel here, sponge, spread the grout into the joints, let it sit for a little bit. I don't bother filling in the grout along the edge. A skirting board is going to cover that gap, and that will act as an expansion joint. Should have an internal measurements expansion joint every round 8 meters. So from that point in the house through to the following point of the house is longer than 8 meters. So I'll probably have to have a little short expansion joint midway through the shortest part of the floor there. But I just keep an expansion joint around the perimeter work that's going to be covered, because this doesn't need to be grouted anyway. It'll be better that way. Slight angle, hold it on a maybe 30-degree angle. I find that works best. The least enjoyable job when it comes to tiling. You're down on your knees, spread this stuff in, but it makes it all come together.
This is inside where the screens are aglow, cutting the clips so the story flows. Coffee in hand, headphones on tight, making magic on the timeline late at night. Oh, we fix it and film it, building dreams from the ground.
You use less grout with larger tiles because there's less joints, of course. Worst tiles to grout are the little mosaics, tiny little things. And another type of tile that's not very easy to grout is one with a very rough surface. But you just got to take your time, accept it for what it is, and just plod away.
Phillips making sawdust while Lisa cuts the sound. From the workshop to the edit suite, we're making something real and sweet. Yeah, we fix it and film it.
Given the weather conditions, like it's cool, bit of moisture, no sun on the floor, so it's probably going to take a little bit longer for the grout to sort of set in. I'll leave it sit in the joints, usually about 10 minutes, 15 minutes after I've grouted it, to set, and then I'll sponge it off, and I'll show you the process involved with that. It's not rocket science.
So
see where I'm getting to the end of the grout? Don't mess around with not having enough grout on the floor. Make sure you've got plenty to spread around. Okay, so I've grouted all this floor area and I've left it probably about 10 minutes to sort of settle into the joints. How long to leave it? Well, it depends on the conditions. If it's a hot day, if the sun's shining on the floor, you want to get to it fairly quickly. If it's cooler weather, moisture in the air, it takes a little bit longer to settle into the joints. So I've got a bucket of water, sponge. There's a technique in using your sponge that makes it a lot easier. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just smoothing the grout in the joint. I'm not trying to clean it off, just smoothing it into the joint. Next, I'm putting the sponge down, slight pressure over the sponge, not pressing on one area more than the other, and then draw it along the joint on an angle, never along the joint straight, but on an angle. It'll bring, and just nice pressure, one clean sweep across. Don't try and go back for a second run. And another one. Wash your sponge regularly, that's the key. Run on angle to the joints. After you've smoothed it up into the joints, clean up. It's not worth running the sponge back over the joint, over the tile once it's been across it once, as you will leave smudge marks. As I say, it's not worth trying to do any more than one sweep across the surface. If you do, you'll end up with streaks everywhere. That's really the key to getting through the grouting job as quickly and as professionally as possible. Smooth the joints, and then one stroke, clean off and wash your sponge. One stroke on that side, one stroke on the other side of the sponge, and then wash your sponge. Don't go back for a second swat. Might seem like it would save time, but it doesn't.
That's the life we choose. Philip builds the future, and Lisa makes the view. So just hit that like and stick around. There's always a fix to be found. Yeah, we fix it and film it. So just you wait and see. This little YouTube channel is a home for you and me.